On my Filipino food journey, I've gone to a number of turos so far, and today I'm diving in deep to eat some meats, or should I say parts, that go beyond the usual. It's a selection of heart, stomach, liver, tendon, cartilage, marrow, and more. Delicious Filipino food from a great tiny turo. Come along on today's episode. Well, it's another Filipino outing today, another Filipino food adventure. I'm here in Lanham, Maryland, visiting Kusina Pilipino. It's spelled with a P, so is it Kusina Filipino or Kusina Pilipino, or is it just I don't know. I don't know how it's pronounced, but it's spelled with a P, Pilpion, Filipino. It's another grocery store turo place. It's a very small place, actually. It's a very small Filipino grocery with a turo counter in the back. It's a familiar setup. It's a smaller setup, though, and this is the smallest place, I think. The smallest turo place I've visited. And it's relatively late. They did run out of something. In fact, they ran out of rice, of all things. They must have been really busy prior to my arriving, because I asked for rice and they ran out. So in my combo box, in this first one I'm going to show you, I have pancit. I think it's pancit bihun, bihun, pancit. Anyway, it's pancit noodles rather than rice. And I got bo piece and pork adobo in this box. And bo piece is something I wanted to try for a while now. Bo piece is made with pork innards, for want of a better term, and I believe it usually has heart and lungs in it. I think in the Philippines it's made with that, but I think this version doesn't have lungs in it. I asked the woman who helped me at the counter. She's very nice. She was very patient and helpful in explaining everything. This version of bo piece, as it was explained to me, has heart, stomach, and liver in it. Pork heart, pork stomach, and pork liver. I think that's what's in it. There wasn't any lung in it. My understanding is that there is usually lung in it. You might find that in the Philippines. I imagine pork lung might be a hard to get ingredient. So yeah, this is the first time I'm eating bo piece. Let me get a scoop full of it, or a fork full of it, and let me try it. Wow. Oh, let me chase that with a little bit of the pancit. Wow. All right. The bo piece is a really pronounced textural experience. Wow. I mean, the feeling on my mouth, the mouthfeel, as it were, of the various ingredients, the parts, is very, very pronounced. I can feel the crunch and the firmness of those parts, the heart and the liver. Wow. And it's a good firmness. It's not like it's, a difficult firmness. It's firm, but it's certainly, it goes down easy after a few chews. Wow. And there's a peppery aftertaste. I mean, that pepperiness in the bow piece comes through. Wow. I'm just trying to look at it and see if I can figure out what is what. But let me just get another. Let me get another forkful. Ooh, wow, wow, that is legitimately delicious. It really is. It doesn't have an irony kind of taste to it. There's no gaminess. There's nothing off-putting about it, really. There's a meatiness to it. It's a meaty flavor, but it's certainly not meat. But as I'm eating it, just taking the forkful and putting it in my mouth, I can't really distinguish, one ingredient from another. I mean, I don't know where the liver ends and the heart begins. I don't know. And the stomach, it's hard to distinguish one from another. Yeah, and I'm chasing it with the pancit, and I don't have rice obviously because they ran out of rice. But the pancit is good, and it's it's not plain, it's not neutral like rice would be. And, Filipino food is typically eaten with rice and Chinese food also. But this pancit works. I don't know. Is pancit eaten in place of rice sometimes? I think it is, right, in the Philippines. But in the pancit itself, I'm looking at it, there's some vegetation in here. I think it looks like strands of Napa cabbage. There's some carrots in here. And there's a mix of the cellophane noodles with the egg noodles. There's a mixture of both. And there's some stray pieces of chicken in here too. Wow. The texture on the noodles is just perfect. And I like the vegetation in there and the and the kind of incidental pieces of chicken in here. Okay, let me try this pork adobo. Wow. Wow, that fat just burst with flavor, and the meat surrounding that tip of fat, or that blunt end of fat, was very tender, very moist and delicious. Wow, this is the best pork adobo I've had. Not that I've had much of it. I mean, I did have it on a prior episode, and this seems to impress me more. Wow, not that the first version I had was bad, but this is really, really well executed. Wow. Wow. There's a nice savoriness about it. There's a very distinguishable soy sauce flavor and a kind of a gentle sourness that is kind of in a distance. So the sourness is not, up front. It's not that. Wow. But when you have chunks of meat like this, you can think that it's going to be overcooked maybe, or it's not going to be braised long enough or cooked long enough, and it'll be, more firm than it should be. But this is really tender and delicious. Okay, this next item is a soup, and this was a special today, I believe. And Mr. Wong, who is the owner of Kusina Pilipino, he came out and spoke with me briefly, and he was talking up the soup. And in fact, this soup is named after him. He calls it Mr. Wong's Chinoy soup. And Mr. Wong is a Chinese Filipino, and I don't know what this soup is. I don't know if Mr. Wong invented it outright or if this is some sort of his take on an existing soup. I don't know, but as it was explained to me as I was ordering and gathering my food, this is a beef-based soup and it has a sort of orangey red tinge to it. Maybe there's tomato in here, I don't know, but there's beef parts in here. I think it's tendon and skin, heart, knuckles, and it's seasoned with like Chinese herbs. That's what Mr. Wong told me, and ooh. There's like a distant tomatoiness. Maybe it is tomato that's flavoring it and giving it that kind of red-orange tinge. And there's a beefiness. Maybe it's beef broth. You know, it's just boiled down with bones and these internal parts that I mentioned. Wow. Okay, there was a big dark piece sitting at the surface or near the surface of the soup. And at first glance, I thought it was eggplant, but I think this is the heart. I think I'm gonna bite into this. Oh, wow. Wow. That is meaty. That is immensely and powerfully meaty. Wow, let me just chase that with some soup. Wow. Wow, that is a very, very meaty flavor. And it's not beef. It's not straight up like beef meat or beef flesh. I mean, no one would confuse those two things. That beef heart is very firm, not overly firm that you're struggling to chew it. It's not like that, but it is firm. And there's a meatiness, there's no organy flavor or an irony flavor, kind of like that. But it's very meaty without being flesh, if that makes any sense. And I did have beef heart in a prior episode. It wasn't a Filipino episode. It was a Peruvian episode because they eat beef heart grilled in Peruvian cuisine. And wow, it's just very, very meaty. Well, here it is. I took half of it away in that first bite. Wow. All right, let me move on to some of the other components of this soup. There's a huge bone in the middle here. Ooh, here it is. Oh, wow. It's got a lot of fat and kind of cartilage, and there's a little bit of meat. Let me try this. Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh my God. Wow, that is fatty and beefy and delicious. Wow. This bony piece with all the tendons. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. It's like it's been cooked so long that the tendons look like just blubbery fat. I mean, that's what it looks like, but it's actually tendon that's been cooked down so long. Wow. Wow. I don't think I've ever had tendon that soft before. I mean, I mistook it for fat because it was cooked down so much. Wow. Wow, that's some serious flavor there. A tendony beefiness. Wow. And Mr. Wong said that there was something called 14 flowers in here. And I see it. There's some wood ears. There's a generous amount of wood ears, and there's some medicinal ingredients that I recognize from Chinese soups. I think that's what he meant by the 14 flowers. I do recall him saying that. And ooh, wow. There are mushrooms in here, kind of like medicinal looking mushrooms. Wow. Oh, those are mushrooms. Wow, look at this. There are those stalks are mushrooms, and wow, what else is in here that I don't know about? Wow, here's a blubbery piece of something. I don't know what this is. Oh, that's the skin. I just ate a piece of blubbery skin. Because, yeah, I remember now, the skin in here. And the woman who was helping me at the counter and Mr. Wong, both of them said that there is skin in here from the face or from the head. And they were pointing at their cheek like this, And I thought they were talking about beef cheek, but but no, it's the skin from the cheek or the skin from the head is in this soup, and I just ate it. Oh, okay, let me try the wood ear mushroom. Mmm. Mmm. Wow, it's firm and kind of mildly gelatinous and snappy. I'm very used to wood ear mushrooms because it does show up a lot in Chinese preparations. And ooh, this mushroom, oh, it has a long stalk and a black cap. It might be a honey mushroom. I don't know. I don't know what kind of mushroom this is. That's my best guess, a honey mushroom. Mmm. Wow. Mmm. The stalk is very firm, but it breaks down rather easily when you chew it. The honey mushroom itself is really earthy, and it gives the soup itself a kind of a depth of earthiness. In totality, this is a very complex soup. And Mr. Wong, I'm remembering now too. Mr. Wong was saying this is a soup that will make you strong. I think he was flexing his bicep or something like that when he was talking to me. Wow, so this is a kind of a quasi-medicinal soup, or maybe not even quasi-medicinal. Maybe it's just outright medicinal, but it's delicious, and it is a complex soup. I haven't had a soup this complex in a long while. Wow, this is good. Wow. Okay, in my next box, my next combo, I have two other things to try. The first is pork igado, or it's just called igado, I think. And it's meat and liver stewed together in some sort of sauce, and it has some peas in it. I've never had igado before, and so yeah, I'm eager to try it. And the other thing is laing. And I am very familiar with laing because on a prior Filipino episode, I had some laing and it really impressed me. It was really, really freakishly delicious, the laing, I mean. And wow, I'm going to be eager to find out how this one is. And it has the pancit, obviously. They didn't have rice, as I mentioned. So let me try the igado first. Okay, here it is. Wow. Wow. I think in that bite it was all meat. There was no liver. There isn't a strong soy sauce or vinegar flavor, and I would find that unusual based on the experience I've had with Filipino food so far. There's usually a soy sauce flavor or a vinegar sourness usually. I don't taste either one, so I don't know what or how this stew of pork is prepared. It has a salty kind of savoriness about it. And the pork is very tender, stewed or braised to perfection, really. Wow. Oh. I'm trying to dig around and see if I can find some of this liver. Oh, as I was agitating the contents, I did manage to uncover a piece of liver, and it's on the surface. Yeah, you can tell that it's different than the meat. It doesn't have a fleshy appearance to it. It has a more solidified look to it. Let me try this piece of liver. Wow. When you bite into the liver, it just kind of disintegrates into a kind of granular kind of dust. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. It just kind of crumbles into kind of a granular oblivion. And it doesn't have a strong liver flavor. And in fact, I don't know if the liver in here is meant to be kind of like one of the co-stars, or if it's just meant to be flavoring of some sort, but it's playing Robin to the Batman that is the pork. Okay, I'm going to try the laing now. Wow. Wow. I haven't had lying since my previous episode where I discovered lying, and this is a very stark and very clear reminder of why I love that lying on that previous episode. There's a depth of earthiness, and it's not smokiness, but there's something that's akin to smokiness. It's hard to describe, but there's a really depth of earthiness in those taro leaves, and the coconut milk really just accentuates and complements that earthy taro leaf flavor. Wow, that's good. And there's a spiciness too. It's not overwhelmingly spicy, but it's there. And maybe that's what kind of confused me initially. There's a smokiness to the chili. That's what it is. I think that smokiness that I'm kind of discerning is actually the chili flavor. Wow. Yeah, and I think the original version of lying is spicy in the Philippines. I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong. And I can see why chili is added to the lying, because it really adds an additional layer of flavor, and it really complements the taro leaf flavor. Wow, it really complements the taro leaf flavor, that earthiness. So that spiciness and that earthiness combines into something really, for want of a better word, it's really powerful. Wow. There's an additional ingredient in this lying. It's kind of brown and cut into strips. It's either some sort of seaweed maybe, or maybe strands of cut up wood ear mushrooms. I don't know. There's something that's crunchy in here. It's contrasting with the leafy texture, and it's not it's not real significant, but it's really adding a depth of texture to this lying. So you're not just dealing with leafiness as the texture, the soft kind of stewed leafiness of the lying. You also have this kind of secondary crunch to it. Wow, it's really complex in terms of the texture and the taste of this lying. Wow. Well, that wraps up another episode. Thank you so much for watching. That meal today, wow, at Kusina Pilipino, or Kusina Filipino. Wow, the bo piece, the igado, the spicy lying. Wow, those were really revelations. I didn't have any of those prior to this episode, and I'm really happy to have found out what those things are, because I was very, very, very pleasantly surprised and grateful for having tried these new things. And that's the great thing about discovering Filipino cuisine as I am now. I'm discovering new flavors, new tastes, new dishes. And it's not just chicken adobo. There's a lot of things going on with Filipino food. And I want to thank Lei. Her name is spelled L-E-I. It's pronounced Lei, the woman who helped me at the turo counter, and Mr. Wong, the owner. They were both very friendly and very helpful. And thank you, Mr. Wong, for that soup, too. Wow, that was a powerfully delicious a soup. Wow, that's a memorable a soup experience that I will remember for a while. That was really, really delicious. And thank you for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and please leave a comment in the comment section with any thoughts that you might have, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I'll catch you next time on my next food adventure. Take care. Bye-bye.